heard they're making a new class of ship here.
Walter is quite proud of what his company has accomplished. And for good reason.
Doesn't need that sort of maneuvering capability. And Mike is saying there are technical reasons your design won't work. Oh, this must be Walter's consultant friend. Please, come join us. We've been waiting for you. Hello. Hi there. You must be Walter's colleague. He informed me that you'd be taking charge of Project Kepler despite the fact that we have a fully dedicated R&D staff already assigned to it. But that's okay. I'm sure that even though you have virtually no experience with this, you'll do a great job. Yes, of course. I'm sure Walter had a great reason for choosing you. Let's get to it then.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
As you probably know, we're tasked with coming up with Stroud-Eklund's next hit starship. But we have budget concerns, market research to finish, and we can't seem to agree on a design. So I guess Walter sent you to resolve these issues. Have at it. There are a lot of factors to consider. Who is our market and what do they want in a ship? Which components are we putting into it? How fast should it go? How much cargo capacity should it have? What color should it be? We need to decide every little detail. Sure, I'm Jules, R&D project lead. Was the one making all the big decisions. I suppose I just coordinate now. You already heard from Frank. He's lead designer on the project, focused on the look and feel of the ships. There's Ella, another senior designer. She focuses on some of the more technical designs of ships. Went to school with Frank. Mike is our senior engineer, responsible for consulting on all the technical bits, the machinery, the computer systems, etc. And then there's Nev. She's here for marketing. It's her job to weigh in and sell this thing to consumers. Okay, good. So, before we can do anything, we need to resolve the budget issue. We were charged with building the newest, hottest ship on the market, which won't be possible unless we petition the board for more money. So we have two new budget proposals. One will allow us to build what I consider to be a very sensible ship, but we'll have to make some tough design cuts. The other will allow us much more flexibility to put whatever we want into the ship. It's what I call the kitchen sink proposal. I don't love it, but it'll be next to impossible to approve. What should we go with? While it's true we'd be able to afford to put anything and everything into that design, it's just not practical, and the board will put more pressure on us to see that it succeeds. I worry that without constraints, my team will be disincentivized to focus this ship in any given direction. And they'll try to cram in everything but the kitchen sink, hence the name. Who knows what kind of monstrosity we'd create if we tried to incorporate all of our designs? And would something that expensive actually sell? I'd love to, seriously. It would be a huge win for us if we came in under or at that budget. But none of the viable designs for this project can be made for that amount. I've already rejected that budget, so I have to go to the board regardless. And since you're now responsible for the major decisions, which budget proposal we go with falls on you. It's more that we can only choose certain design elements at the expense of others. In other words, if we go with something in Mike's design, there's not enough money in the budget for what Ella wants. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to agree on anything. That sounds good to me, but remember, this ship will have fewer bells and whistles. We're not going to be able to include everything we want. Frank's luxury design has the most expensive components, and we've been having trouble convincing him to move away from that idea so we can stay within the budget. We need his help. Do you think you can get him to budge?
I am right here, you know? Yes, but I am the lead designer on the project. All design proposals need to go through me. How can I be expected to approve something I fundamentally disagree with? I already gave my answer to Jules. We got nothing. There's some logic to that. But maybe we just need to get a little more creative with the design. Okay, I'm thinking. What? I never thought of it that way. Maybe I am letting my ego get the best of me. Fine. I see what you're saying. Perhaps we tone down the luxury aspects a bit. Does it really need so much gold trim? Probably not.
For what it is worth, I believe that is the correct approach. Luxury should not be the goal here. Also, Frank annoys me.
Great! That's one problem solved. I'll go forward with that budget proposal and we can move on. Next, we need to gather some market data. The best way to do this is to outfit your ship with some sensors and take it through some real-world scenarios so we can make more informed design decisions. Well, Mr. Stroud believes you fit in our target demographic. We heard about some of your adventures, and we tend to agree that getting data from someone like you will be helpful. Frankly, most of our test pilots played a little too safe, and the scenarios we run don't push the limits as much as we can get away with legally. But luckily, we don't have those same concerns with you, because you're not technically employed by us, and Walter trusts you. Great! Just pick up a mission or two at the mission board and proceed like you normally would. We'll collect the data when you return. If you take on a variety of missions, we can build a ship to handle a variety of scenarios. But if you just fly one mission, we can build a more focused ship. It's up to you. In the meantime, you might also want to talk with the team, get to know them, give feedback on their proposals, etc. Good luck out there.
So, you're Walter's friend. I know he chose you to head this project as some sort of favor. Honestly, as senior technical designer, I was hoping to receive that honor, but, there's always next time. Regardless, I'm excited to help you out. Do you have any experience building spaceships? Good. We were worried you knew nothing, and this would be a complete disaster. As long as you are willing to listen to us, we may still avoid that outcome. Now, I know you've been asked to give feedback on our design proposals. Would you care for a brief synopsis of mine? I'm the most senior designer on this project, for one. Despite all the acclaim he gets, I actually referred Frank to his current design position. He and I were in the same design program when we went to get our degrees back in uni. We support each other as friends as much as possible, even when we disagree. I love my job here. But I dream one day of working for a small startup or running my own design firm so I can work on custom ships instead of mass-produced products. Of course. But first, let me ask you this. What pilot demographic is currently being underserved by the current starship market? Well, you're not fun. My idea is a little less conventional. I believe we should invest in making a dedicated exploration ship, marketed towards citizen scientists. Sure, we and other manufacturers have lines of exploration ships, but none built with the average consumer in mind. It's my hope that we can jumpstart a new era of affordable, accessible space exploration fueled by ordinary people like you and me. Yeah, that's what Jules said too. But at least that gives me something to think about. Thanks. I'll refine the idea and propose it next time, I guess. Why do I feel like answering this could be a trap coming from someone who was sent here by Walter to step in and take over our project? It's not like I have anything to hide. I used to think working for a super wealthy corporation would be terrible, but honestly, it's pretty great. They've been good to me, and the stability is way better than any startup. I've had opportunities I wouldn't have anywhere else, so yeah, pretty great. Well, as a senior designer, I'm trusted to work on some pretty important features on these ships. Most of my work is on the technical features, designing them to be more user-friendly. Computer systems like navigation, targeting, you name it. It may not be as glamorous as what Frank does, but without me, these ships would be almost impossible for the average consumer to actually use. See you around, I guess.
I'm actually kind of amazed we finalized the budget. That was relatively painless.
I'm wondering if we need another chef in the kitchen. Then again, I hear Walter brought you in to finally make a decision around here. Good. Just so long as you don't push us to make anything too nutty. I think your decisiveness will put us back on the right track. Speaking of which, I think my plan will get us where we need to be as quickly and efficiently as possible. It's simple, no frills, and most importantly, won't cause me any major headaches on the engineering side. Let me tell you, all the creative minds around here are so concerned with designing the most innovative and fancy ships possible. They never stop to think about the kind of work it takes to do that in a reasonable time frame. Yes, we're engineers. Our job is to make the bloody impossible possible. But that doesn't mean it's easy or practical. That and there's never enough of us to go around. Couldn't figure it out from the engineering talk? I'm an engineer, mate. It means I'm the one who's got to put together all these plans and actually make the bloody ship fly. Been doing it for going on 25 years at various star yards. They still haven't realized this place would fall apart if not for me. Instead of letting me get to my work, they keep giving me fancy new titles and got me tied up in endless meetings like this one. No, I'm just trying to set realistic goals. Sorry that ain't exciting to you. So I'm thinking, there's loads of fighters, no sense in mucking about with that again. And we've already got one of the best luxury liners in the biz. What I figure is, the cargo running business is booming, and no one's quite built a personal craft like that to serve the working class folk. Nothing fancy, no frills, just a simple, sturdy, inexpensive ship with cargo room up the wazoo and make it so easy my cousin's little moppet could fly it. Our objective should be to build a huge ship with plenty of cargo room while keeping the costs low. Doesn't need fancy equipment, just the basics. Basic weapons, basic defenses, basic scanners. You get the idea. If we go with a design like that, I can focus on quality construction and the ship will practically sell itself. Sure. Don't take the advice of someone who's been doing this since all these jokers were in nappies. Thanks, I guess. I assume you mean the company and not the people. Because even if I didn't already think so, I'd tell you that both Walter and Issa are great. The company's still kind of young as far as star yards go, but It seems to be going in the right direction, despite what it may look like. I've been doing this for a while at other star yards, and so far, we're avoiding a lot of the mistakes some of the older corps have made. Nope, not really. I like to think I don't have the ego for it. I've got nothing to prove, and I don't rightly care to make my mark on the industry. All I want to do is build the best damn starships I can, not get bogged down with all the excess particulars. But upper management loves the work I do, and they wouldn't let me say no to this. I guess they needed someone to keep everyone's heads out of the clouds, so here I am. Yeah, that's me, innit? Been here since the start of the company. Done engineering for going on 30 years total. Though I keep telling them, it's senior, not lead engineer. I've got no interest in being lead. Not enough tactile work. And yet here I am, resigned to my fate on the R&D team. Later, mate.
Hi. Need something? Oh, you really want to hear my ideas? I mean, I have an idea, but it's not that great. I'm not even a designer or anything. So, I was thinking that we could really use a recreational craft in our fleet. But not like super luxurious like our Adonis pleasure yacht, something marketed more towards families. Something Mom and Dad could pack up and take the kids on vacation. You probably think that's stupid, right? I haven't thought of all the details, but I'd imagine lots of passenger space would be a top priority. A mid-sized ship with enough room for one, or maybe even 2 or 3 families to spread out and relax. I don't think it'd need any fancy weapons or scientific equipment, so it should be pretty affordable. Families don't want to spend a fortune, so keeping the cost low will help guarantee plenty of sales. I used to go off-world camping with my family when I was a kid. The other families we met always complained their ships weren't quite adequate for family vacations. They never had enough room, and the kids would always fight. I've done some market research, and no ship manufacturer seems to be making ships for things like this. Which means even if the demand is low, we can fill this niche and still sell a lot. Oh, really? Wow, I am... Thank you. I'm really glad I told you about it. Well, if we end up making it, I swear I'll work up a hell of an ad campaign for it. So far I do. But, just between you and me, I feel like I'm in a little over my head. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. But my bosses really seem to like my work, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right. I still feel weird pitching ideas to people who have been at this for so much longer than I have. It's interesting. I'm new, and I've never done anything like this before coming here. Marketing for ships, specifically, that is. There are so many things to think of for different demographics, like style, features, cost, and all that. And you also need to think about offensive and defensive capabilities, because space is dangerous, and people need to feel like the ship they're buying is safe.
I don't want to be a target.
Yeah, I've only been here for a few months. I did a little marketing for Chunks before this, but it was really more of an internship. Ships are totally different than that. I applied for the job here on a whim because I thought it'd be fun. I never expected to be hired. See you later.
You know, I have designed spacecraft for over 10 years. So, you must have really impressed Walter for him to give you this project. Or maybe it's a bit of nepotism. Never mind that. Perhaps he sees in you what he sees in me.
Can we really afford a new ship?
The repairs on our old ship just keep piling up. If this keeps up...
My hope is that he sees the passion in our work. In truth, I know he values me, but he has yet to truly cut me loose from the corporate reins and let me do as I wish. But I understand Walter has given you much greater control of our project. Perhaps I can learn from you and convince him I'm ready for the same. As a designer, I see the beauty in our craft and deliver that to the consumer. My desire is to make flying in our ships a joy to all the senses. I have won awards. I am proud of my work. But I do not like to brag. Rather, my goal is to change the board's perception of employees like myself from mere cogs in the corporate machine to value us as artists and let us do as we please. Ah, yes. At least you may be more open to my ideas than my colleagues. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Imagine a luxury craft designed for the most discerning of tastes. Every feature designed for comfort and peace of mind. High-end performance, precision engineering, a spacecraft for those who wish to be seen. This will be the most elite personal craft on the market. The ship should be mid-size, spacious but not bulky. We'll want to build it with the highest quality, most expensive modules available. It should feel safe but not threatening. Focus on defensive measures, not aggressive weaponry. Above all, you should be able to picture your favorite celebrity, or Walter himself, flying this ship and influencing others to buy as well. I think I understand what you mean. It is not enough to say it's a high-end luxury ship. Who is flying this ship? Where do they go? What is their story? And why do they crave such attention? Oh, thank you. I will think on this and improve on my proposal. Because I am the lead designer on the project, it is literally my job to design it. It is frustrating because I keep getting pushback, and Jules has this idea that we will make a better product by designing it all together. Since everyone has equal say, it led us to a standstill. It was much easier before. Two words: conspicuous consumption. Are you familiar with this concept? Of course. Rich celebrity like Borealis buys shiny ship to show off. Idiot consumer sees Borealis use our ship, and idiot consumer wants one too. I hope that's simple enough for you. Just because I do not like how corporate we have become doesn't mean I don't like getting paid. Besides, with every successful ship I design, I believe I can influence the company to shift away from typical corporate bullshit and back to taking risks by pursuing art and innovation. Then again, here we are. See you.
This is going great. Just fantastic. It might surprise you to hear that no, I have not. This is actually the first project I've led for Stroud Eklund. I recently graduated with a master's degree in engineering management. I'm actually kind of surprised they hired me, but I was at the top of my class, so maybe they didn't want to lose me to some other staryard. Anyway, I'm grateful for the chance to do good work here. It means I'm responsible for making sure our projects are carried through to completion. I'm not the one calling all the shots per se, but I do need to ensure the people making those calls are empowered to do that within the limits the executive set for us.
The Eklund family is loaded. Then you throw in Walter Strauss.
Oh, yes, I actually do have a proposal. I wasn't really expecting you to give me feedback, but why not, I guess? I'd like to see us branch out a bit more in the starfighter market. Bounty hunting and mercenary work are both big these days, especially among the hard-blooded Freestars. I'm glad you brought that up. No, and yes, there's a lot of work out there that requires a capable fighting ship. But the real success comes from UC military contracts, which we would hope to attract by building a higher-end version of this ship platform for them. We'd want to give it strong weapons, tough defenses, plus good speed and maneuverability. Most starfighters are fairly small, and the tricky part is keeping costs down with all those fancy modules. You could be right. There's got to be a better way to pitch the idea. I'll give it some more thought. Thanks. We'll talk later then. We're all super glad you're here, right? So you managed to complete a couple different missions. This will give us lots of data to support building a ship that can tackle a variety of scenarios. Of course, if we build a ship like that, we may need the kitchen sink budget, but we'll see. Thanks for your help. Now we just need to solve our interpersonal issues so we can agree on a design. Easy, right? Because I'd be lying if I told you it wasn't, and as long as I'm being honest, it's kind of my fault. I had this idea that we should all collaborate on the design because I thought it'd give us the best results, and I'm not willing to give up on that idea. But it's made this challenging because it made everyone equally invested and no one wants to give up anything. You seem awfully confident for someone who doesn't know how long we've been dealing with this. I've tried everything I can think of besides some sort of hokey team building exercise. So, what do you think you can do differently? Okay, for real. It's mostly been just a bunch of arguing. First, we tried a group brainstorming session, and that went about as well as you can imagine. We tried individual designs, but that backfired. We've had meetings focused on individual aspects of the ship, and that just prolonged the process. I could have put my foot down and made a decision, but then I'd be giving up on my idea that collaboration will build us the best ship. That, and I don't want anyone to resign because of me. You know what? Why not? I'll try anything at this point. Stranger things have happened. And since you mentioned the idea, I think you should be the one to lead us in the guided meditation. Just feed us a steady stream of whatever positive affirmations you've got. I don't know if it will solve the design conflicts, but maybe it'll get everyone working with each other again. And I'll take what I can get, even if it leads to a more ridiculous design. So, you're sure about this? Okay, this should be interesting since I doubt any of us know what we're doing with this. Okay, everyone, listen up. Our new friend offered to lead us in a group meditation session as a sort of team-building exercise. Everyone take a deep breath, try to relax, and we'll get started momentarily. Listen to what he says and repeat his affirmations.
Teamwork.
Stronger, better, together.
Together.
Yes.
I am
confident
we
you
will
will
succeed.
I trust
my
my
teammates
teammates
and
and
they
they
can
trust
trust
me.
I believe in myself and my ability to do my job
Myself
well.
and my ability to do my job well.
We're going to finish this project and move on to bigger and better
better
things.
things.
Okay, I think that's enough of that. Thank you for leading us. I hope that was somewhat relaxing, at least.
Yeah, it was, kinda.
It was fine. I'm good to go over here.
You know what? I'll do whatever anyone wants, so long as I never have to go through something like that again.
Okay, everyone, I think that's it. Let's get back to work. Well, we're making progress now, I guess. Based on the decisions you made, well, I'm not quite sure what kind of ship we're going to end up with, but it should be capable in a variety of situations. It sure will have a lot of stuff to it. This ship's going to be big, and it's going to have the best components available. I'm sure it'll be very capable of handling any situation thrown at it. This thing is going to be a beast, and I don't know how we're going to make it look halfway presentable. My only other concern comes down to the sticker price and how we're going to actually sell such a monstrosity, but that's marketing's problem now. Poor Nev. I hope not, but it's possible. If the ship sells well enough, the board will have no problem increasing the budget next time. The data you gathered for us will last a while too, and I think I picked up some useful techniques from you to help us work together better. Now that we've addressed all our issues, we can move forward, finalize the design, and get this into production pretty quickly. If you could do us a favor and let Walter know that we're back on track, I'm sure he'll be thrilled. Thanks for your help.